Hi, this is Ray Lehman with Friends of Arkansas. I'm producing a video today to show Arkansans the process that occurred in this past legislative session. The final decision was April 26th of 2021 that makes teaching horrible, racist curricula legal in Arkansas. You heard me. Critical race theory can be taught in Arkansas schools. Senator James Sturch voted no on April 26, 2021, the final attempt by the Arkansas legislature to make teaching one race is superior to another illegal in Arkansas schools. Friends of Arkansas has created a video, you're actually seeing it, you're watching it now, showing the exact process of House Bill 1761, the actual vote in both the House and the Senate on House Bill 1761, the reasoning Senator Sturch wrote that he voted that way, and the fallacy of that reasoning. This video can be found, if you want to share it with others, on our YouTube channel, Friends of Arkansas. Please follow us there and on our Facebook page. Now we're going to take a look at House Bill 1761 in some detail. I think many of you have seen this process. I've shown this process to many folks in many videos of how to look up a bill. All you need is the number. There is a way to actually search, and I'll do another video on that. In fact, I may have already done that video of how to search for a bill. But here is House Bill 1761 concerning instructional materials in public schools that are related to race and ethnicity. The bill is pretty simple. If you listen to the discussion in the Senate Education Committee, you will hear Mark Lowry, Representative Lowry, will say that he pulled back quite a bit of the pages. He reduced the bill from 5 or 6 pages down to 2, barely over 1. But let's take a look at it. Instructional materials, race and ethnicity. Curricula, reading materials, teacher's guides, computer programs, computer applications, programs, counseling, and activities in public schools and open enrollment public charter schools shall not express or depict or teach any of the following: that any race or ethnicity is superior to any other race or ethnicity, that any individual from a particular race or ethnicity is inherently racist, that any race or ethnicity should feel guilt or shame because of their race or ethnicity, that the United States as a nation is systemically racist, or the promotion of prejudice or discrimination toward any race or ethnicity. Then it goes down and talks a little bit about the schools. Y'all can read that. But that is the bill itself, 1761, which seems to be fairly clear that it is not going to allow teaching of lessons that say that one race or ethnicity is superior to another or not superior. We can't do this sort of stuff. So here's the way it worked. The bill was filed on March 16th. It went to the Education Committee of the House on March 16th, returned by the committee to the House, placed in second reading, reportedly engrossed, so it's everything spelled correctly. And here's the House votes on it. So it passed the House Education Committee. It went to the House, and the House voted 63 yes and 13 no's with 21 non-voting. Now, I want to go back a little bit further here, because one of the things that we find is the Senate, on that same day, April 21st, received it from the House, read first time, rule suspended, second read, all that's stuff, legislator language. But anyway, it was sent to the Education Committee, Senate, on April 21st. And then the next note is on October 15th, died. Well, there was a different meeting that occurred. There was actually a meeting of the Senate Education Committee where they discussed and voted on this bill. And my thanks to Mark Lowry for helping me find the date that occurred. The meeting was April 26th of 2021. Now, how do you go back? This is the calendar, but it starts at November 17th, so we need to go back. So we'll click on this month, and we're going to click on the start date, and we'll go back to April 26th, and the end date, April 26th. And click go. And then here is the Education Committee of the Senate. And you can see what the calendar is. You can see the agenda of this meeting. But more importantly, we're going to watch the video.
I'm going to call the Senate Education Committee meeting to order.
Now, what I'm going to do is get you to the start of the discussion on this House bill. The discussion begins, you see the clock down here at the bottom? This is 9:41 in the morning and 25 seconds. The discussion starts at 9:49 and 40 seconds. So I'm just going to pull this across to 9:49 and 40 seconds, or as close to it as I can get. And then we will hit start.
Bill. Representative Lowry, House Bill 1761. Is Representative Lowry here? Okay, yes, sorry.
Now the vote,
Okay,
the vote actually occurs at 10:15, so it is about a 25-minute discussion about the bill. I encourage you all to listen.
Senator, with your permission, I'll have a witness sit
Listen
at
to
the
that
table with
discussion.
me.
It's important. It's really important to understand what it was that Mark Lowry is trying to accomplish, how he responded to a couple of the questions. I think they were both from Senator Elliott. There may have been others. But anyway, listen to that. But now we're going to go to the actual vote itself. It's at 10:15 and 10 seconds. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Boom. That's not bad. All right. So now here comes the vote. I'm going to pause it 2 or 3 times because something really unusual happened here.
Second, is there any discussion? Senator Elliott had discussion. Any other discussion from members of the committee? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? No. Ayes have it. Congratulations, you've passed your bill.
Now that makes it sound like the bill passed. So what am I complaining about? What am I upset about? Well, we know the bill didn't pass. So let's continue on. What we had was a voice vote, and the chairwoman of the Education Committee of the Senate, Senator Ervin, felt like the ayes had it. Now we're going to go forward, as I believe Senator Elliott called for a roll call vote, which means each senator on that committee has to state their vote.
Please call the roll.
Listen for Senator Sturch.
Oh.
Senator Chesterfield? Senator Chesterfield. Not voting. Senator English? No, yes. Yes. Senator Eads? Yes. Senator Leding? No. Senator Sturch? No. Senator Beckham? Yes. Senator Elliott? No. Senator Ervin? Aye.
And here comes the tally, and it's going to be a little confusing to everybody. It certainly was to me.
With votes of 4 ayes, 3 nays, and 1 non-voting, the bill fails.
The reason why the bill fails is due to the number of people that are on this committee. It requires 5 yes votes for a bill to pass. You see how important Senator Sturch's no vote was? If Senator Sturch had voted yes, the bill would have passed and Arkansas students would be protected. Now I want to show you an email that I received from Senator Sturch. You can see it's from Senator Sturch. It's to me on July 16th, 2021. I had spent quite a bit of time raising Cain over what just happened, knowing that it was probably the last opportunity until 2023 for us to protect our children. And the other reason why, folks, I don't have children. My kids are grown. I do have children, but they're grown. I got grandkids. So what do I care? Well, I'll tell you why I care. I love the state of Arkansas. And we, by allowing this teaching in the schools, are creating some horrible leaders, future leaders for the state of Arkansas. These kids that are in, I don't know, 6th grade in 10 years, they're gone. They've got work. They might be working for the legislature. I don't know. But these children are our future, and we're teaching them horrible, horrible lessons. Anyway, back to the letter. He says he's sorry. He was out of town. When he returned from the trip, he wanted to talk a little bit about it because this is an important issue, and I want everybody across our district to know. Now, I'm really irritated with our district. Senator Sturch, you know darn well that your decisions affect the entire state. While it's true that you do represent a Senate district, you're their representative, but your decisions impact all Arkansans, not just those in your district. Shame on you for pointing this at your district. Your no vote impacted every children in public schools in the state of Arkansas. Every one of them, not just what was in your district. Let's continue. He says the legislative session started out with several bills on instructional materials. Some of the bills were still being presented last week. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. Ultimately, the legislature passed what is now Act 684. This new law sets up for the first time a process by which parents and citizens can petition their local school boards to have curriculum material they find removed that they find offensive. Well, let's look at Act 684. Act 684 says to challenge instructional material and associated events with activities. The General Assembly finds that the proper means through which parents and legal guardians may influence curriculum, instructional materials, and the events and activities supplemental to instruction is with a public school district administration and the local public school district board of directors. So what they're saying basically, folks, is it's none of the legislators' responsibility to stick their nose into what the schools are teaching. Now, this is an interesting one for some of y'all, those of you that are challenging school boards. Each public school district board of directors has the power and is required to approve the selection of curriculum and ensure that the public school students are offered and taught the courses of study and education content required by the State Board of Education. That's interesting. Now, what this act says is each public school district shall develop and adopt policies in consultation with parents and legal guardians regarding the right of a parent, legal guardian, person having lawful control of a student, or a person standing in loco parentis to a student to inspect upon request any instructional material used. Now, folks, apparently the folks that wrote this bill that became act forgot that every one of us, taxpayers, pays for those schools. It's not just the parents and the legal guardians that should be able to challenge what's going on in the schools. After all, as I said earlier, they're raising our leaders. They're raising the people, they're raising the kids that are going to be our leaders. And so all of us need to be concerned. What they're saying is, if you're an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, if you're saying any kind of a relative, sorry, you can't bring it up. You can't ask questions about that. If you're parents that have kids in private school and you're thinking about taking them to public school, sorry, you can't ask questions about the curriculum. If you're a young couple and you're trying to figure out what's the best school to send your children to, sorry, you can't ask that school about their curriculum. That's amazing. It's amazing to me. Now I'm going to try and find, it's a little difficult for me to find it for some reason, but I'm going to find the other piece that I find objectionable here. It has to do with, oh, here it is, point A. So let's say that a parent did turn in a request for information on the curriculum. Reasonable access to instructional material within a reasonable period of time after a public school district receives a request to inspect instructional material. Now, I want you all to read this bill. I want you all to look it up, but I want you to find out where they describe what a reasonable period of time is. Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a month? Is it a year? Is it a decade? It's not described anywhere in here. How long a time? A reasonable period of time is what the schools are given in this act to respond to the parents. But they don't describe a reasonable period of time. And the third thing that I object to in this act is nowhere in it is there a penalty for a school district who flat out ignores the request from parents. Folks, this is a paper tiger. This is a bill, an act that has absolutely no teeth in it. It accomplishes nothing. It's flowers and lollipops. And Senator Sturch based his decision to kill HB 1761 because that act was in place. Ladies and gentlemen, we must do everything we can to vote to get an opponent in the primary against Senator Sturch and get him out. Get him out. You know, I'm typically not a one-person complainer. Typically, in fact, the classes that I teach teach that part of the lessons are that in this past legislation, for example, there were over 2,000 bills considered. To follow Ronald Reagan's rule of if you're with me 80% of your time, that doesn't mean you're 20% of my enemy. Legislators would have to vote hundreds of times against my wishes for me to really get upset with it. But if you vote something in that is against my God, my country, or my family, I'm coming after you politically in every way I possibly can. That's wrong. And what Senator Sturch did is wrong. I apologize for the length of this video. I hope you enjoy it. I'll look forward to the comments. Thank you.